Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's happening? It is August 1st. Can you believe that? August 1st already. Time for, oh Lord, what happened? Jesus. It's time it's time for the income tax checks. Hey, good morning to you. Why is this coming on like this? What is going on? I am freaking out because I don't know what's going on. So, hey, appreciate you stopping in. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Stop it. What's going on? There's a feedback coming from somewhere, and I don't know where it's coming from. Hey, appreciate you stopping in. You listen to Eyes on Smash Bros. Radio. The only. What's going on? Stop, stop, stop. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. Because you know I don't know really know how to work this board. But it is what it is, what it is, what it is. Ooh, bad, 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 bad. Hopefully we can get through this hour without any complications or any problems. But hey, this is Huffin Week, Huffin High School Week. Ooh, Lord, stop the madness. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. Hey, we got a lot going on. Got a lot going on. Hey, Huffin alumni, don't forget that tonight, Madness Monday, the Vibe Bar Lounge, 6 p.m., 3801 Richard Arrington Boulevard. What's going on? What's wrong? Is that it? We stop having problems? Maybe that'll do it. Can you hear me now? 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 I think I had the wrong button pushed. Oh boy, it is a Monday. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. We need to pay attention to what's going on to the board. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yes, Huffman Week, Huffman alumni tonight, starting at 7. Tonight, starting at 7. Tonight started at 7. Let me find you again. Let me find you again. Hey, we got a lot going on. We got Huffman Week. The Vibe and Large, the Vibe Bar and Lounge presents Huffman High Alumni Night Party. Starts at 7 p.m. DJ Juice will be live in the mix, calling all alumni and spouses, senior staff, parents, and friends of Huffman High to join them for some mixing and mingling on a Monday while enjoying good drinks, good food, and good vibes. No cover charge. Green and Orange Affair. Vibe Lounge is located at 3801 Richard Arrington Boulevard here in Birmingham, 35234. Once again, Huffman High Alumni Night Party over at the Vibe Bar and Lounge. DJ Juice will be live at the mix. It starts at 7 p.m. Come out, and support Huffman. Let me tell you about my school. Let me tell you about my school. Huffman in the day, and I don't know. Well, what is average up until 2013? This is how the environment of Huffman. Huffman High School is the most diversified high school in Birmingham City Schools. Now, even though it's listed as an urban school, Huffman High School is located in the suburbs, and it's in the east side of Birmingham, over in the Center Point area. And initially, the old school looked like spaceship because it was three buildings built in the round, and it was a unique building. It was a unique place. It had unique teachers as well as students. The students' population was well diversified, and it was the most diversified high school in Birmingham during the time. And even though there was diversification, there was a lot of unity there. Every parent looked after every child. Every child felt protected, felt safe, felt loved, felt needed, knew their value, knew their worth. And so I was blessed to have had the chance to finish my tenure over at Huffin High School. Had 10 years, I think, over at Huffin. And so shout out to all the alumni of Huffin High School. Enjoy your week. So tonight, please come out to the Vibe Bar and Lounge and wear your green and orange. Starts at 7 p.m. So hope to see you there. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there. Also, on August 12th, please put this down in your books. August 12th. August 12th, they're going to have a Southern Bully Showdown. Everyone is invited. We hope that you will come out and support the bullies. The pit bulls are the most misunderstood dogs out there. Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. August 12th, the Southern Bully Showdown. Having hosted. Let me see if I can get this up. The Southern Bully Showdown, August 12th, 2003. Come out and support them, please. Please, please, please. Check out Dewan Hall. Has more information. See what else is on the board today. Back to School Water Adventure. Going to be over at Legion Field, August 6th, 11 to 3. August 6th, 11 to 3. August 6th, 11 to 3. So come out and support them. We had a travesty to occur in the Senate. And I think it's treasonous. I think it's treasonous. The Senate was voting on the PAC Act, which was a bill that would expand the VA health care to the veteran because of the burn pit toxic that some of the veterans have suffered from. And because the Democrat senators are about to pass a climate control bill, the Republican senators lashed out at the veterans. And instead of passing the PACT Act that would expand the VA health care, they voted against it. We shouldn't be surprised at the antics of the Republicans. It is norm for them to be treasonous and to be vicious and to be venomous. They claim to be pro veterans, pro law enforcement, pro family, pro everything, and everything in return. They're anti veterans, they're anti family, they're anti anything that's for the benefit of the United States. They're anti. So, but yet individuals continue to put these idiots back into office, doing very well. They're voting against the benefit of the constituent. I can't understand, nor can I come up with any type of logic that when it comes to the veterans, when it comes to the elderly, when it comes to children, I don't understand the rationale of the antics that the Republican Party does. When you have sacrificed your family, you have sacrificed your time and energy, you have given your life to support your country, and then you come back with things that you did not lead with, and then your government turns their backs on you, that is a travesty. And I think that is a treason. I think it's treasonous. I think it's totally treasonous. You should have the veterans, those individuals that have given their life to this country voluntarily, should have every benefit, every type of benefit out there given to them if they meet the qualifications. Now, I understand that there are different levels of veterans. There are different, as in every group, there's going to be different categories, and that is granted. But when it comes to the basics, I think that all veterans should be allowed to receive what is rightfully theirs. I don't think that they should have to go through this red tape and have to pretty much beg for what is rightfully theirs. Senators do not beg; they vote themselves raises, and then on top of that, they're being bribed by the lobbyists, and that's exactly what it is. It's a bribery, because when you have an interest group that is funding money into your campaign, that's a bribery. And in some cases, it's extortion. I would support you if you would support me. But if you don't support me, well, then I'm not going to support you. So I think that along with the process of what we're going through, it is my hope that lobbying will be outlawed, that when it comes to trading, that should be outlawed. The family members should be outlawed from being able to have inside knowledge. I think that the Supreme Court, anyone who serves in the capacity of a judge, should have the experience as a judge, should also look to see the history of the cases in which the judge ruled over and how many cases were overturned, their decisions were overturned by a higher court. Now, I think that if a judge has conservatively, has over 10 rulings, I think that the judge should not be allowed to go to the next level. You have 3 judges that are on the Supreme Court that should not even be on the Supreme Court because they do not have any type of experience in serving as a capacity of a judge. The Republicans have always argued that there should be no activist judges. But then again, as usual, when you have Republican judges being activists, then all of a sudden there's a problem. But this is a history. This is a history. It is nothing should be surprising. Republicans have voted in favor of abolishing abortions, but yet you have several of the Republicans to have asked or requested their mistresses to have an abortion. Also, they have voted against gay rights, gay marriages, interracial marriages, but yet you have several individuals, Republicans, who are in interracial marriages, who have children who are married, but yet you voted against it. So it's okay for you, but it's not okay for me, which I find preposterous. When you deal with individuals who are ruthless, who have no moral, who have no character, who have no compassion, well, then you should vote them out. But for some reason, individuals continue to vote them in. When you have individuals such as Cruz, such as Abbott, such as the Turtle, McConnell, such as what is it, Paul, the dentist that's not really a doctor. When you have individuals of their capacity, of their nature, they have no purpose when it comes to their constituents. And again, those who support such ludicrous, I have nothing for you, because if you continue to vote these individuals in, well, then you are in what is an accomplice to the fuck up that the government is in. Now all of a sudden, you have the Republicans saying that Article 25 should be used against Biden, but you didn't use Article 25 when it came to that orange tangerine idiot. So, because of the Senate finally getting those two individuals, especially the gentleman from West Virginia, they're finally, well, we don't know yet, because he always says that he's going to do something and then doesn't go through with it. So supposedly, hopefully, the Senate will pass the climate bill, but because of that, the Republican senators were like little boys, and so because no one would play with them, they take their marbles and went home. So they voted against the PACT Act. It's a slap to the veterans' face. It's a slap to their dignity. It's a slap to their integrity. And I hope the veterans will wake up to understand that the Republicans on several occasions have voted against them and have voted against a bill that would benefit them. So this is not the first time that the Republicans have gone after the veterans that have not supported veterans. This is one of many times. So hopefully, with the November election coming up, even though it historically, whatever party is in power, they are overthrown, per se, for lack of another word, for the next party. So historically, when a Democratic president is in office, Republicans gain control of the Senate and the Congress. But hopefully, because of the mix-up and the mishandling of different, the abortion bill, the marriage, and now the veterans, hopefully, the Senate will be controlled by the Democrats, because if I remember correctly, if the Democrats overturn at least 5 seats in the Senate, they will have total control. Now understand, the number is most important, because you have two Democratic senators who are idiots, one from West Virginia, one from Colorado, that are mostly like pigeons to the Republicans. They're puppets. So with these two Democrats still holding this seat, with those 5 new senators, the Democrats will have control, so that way they won't even have to be bothered with those idiots, the woman and the old man. So we'll see. But most importantly, it is most important now, more than ever, for us to look at things at face value, to look at the bigger picture. Things are going to get worse before they get better, unfortunately. And that's not to scare anyone. That's just to have caution when it comes to looking at things at face value. You cannot, and it's been a proven fact, you cannot compromise with the Republican Party. They are racist. Everyone knows they're racist. They're white supremacists. Everyone knows that they're white supremacists. They're idiots. So you can't compromise with them. You have to be as ruthless as they are. Now, compassion would tell us that, well, when they go low, you go high. Fuck that shit. When they go low, you meet them in hell. This premise of a way of thinking a long time ago no longer applies today, and everybody said that, well, that's not true. And it is what it is. We're dealing with a crisis in the United States, and we have 20 years of this continuing, because when you constantly see Trump on the news, that orange tangerine idiot, when you still see him constantly on the news, constantly being broadcast, when you see Karens constantly, when you still see young adults and children being shot by policemen, when you see the Confederate flag continuously being flown, when you see the white supremacists still being open with their hatred, well, then you know things have not changed. I think that we should have a day across the nation to where we have the burning of the Nazi flag and the Confederate flag. I think it should be one huge ass party that on a Saturday, probably Confederate Day. Yeah, Confederate Day. Because unfortunately here in Alabama, we still celebrate Confederate Day. Can you believe that shit? So, and I think that should be abolished too. So I think that we should have a day of reckoning where we buy, well, I use the word buy loosely because I cannot condone stealing, because stealing is wrong, per se. But I think that we should gather all paraphernalia that deals with Confederates, that deals with the Nazi, and I think that we should have a huge barn fire that in a on private property in a huge field, and I think that the state, or well, yeah, the state that has the largest regulated bonfire should get some type of surprise or some type of acknowledgement. And I think that for safety reasons, I think that it should be a field that would be well protected, well guarded, because you know you're going to have the idiots to try to come out. And I think that since it's on private property, and if you do not have the necessary documentation, that if you're caught on the premise that you're trespassing, you should be shot. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not condoning violence. Let me backtrack. I am not condoning violence. All I'm saying is that I think that we should have a day of reckoning to where we have one huge bonfire and we burn all the Confederate flags, all the Nazi, anything that everything that has to deal with white supremacy should be burned. And we should have hoses out there so that way there's no fear of any fire spreading or any damage to anyone's property. And it can be done. It can be done. It can be done. But I think that's what should be done. When you have a Supreme Court that has lied, that has backtracked on precedences, that pretty much, but see, if you realize, if it goes back to Congress should have passed, would have passed a bill, should have passed a law that regulated abortion, that gives permission for interracial marriages, gay marriages, any type of marriages, because see, the Congress makes the laws, Supreme Court interprets the laws. So if it's a law, the Supreme Court cannot rule against it. Cannot rule against it. And I think that once the Senate is ruled by the Democrat, I think the Democrats should expedite all nominees that Biden has given to the courts, because you have to keep in mind Trump has flooded the courts with idiots that have no experience, idiots. And so to balance out that the Democrats, once they've gained control of both houses, should expedite everything that Biden has come up with. Should expedite it. Should put it on the fast track. Approve every nominee that Biden has given, with the understanding that the Senate has looked through the credentials of these individuals and are in hopes that they do fit the populace of the United States, the citizenry. So it should be quickly handled, so that way every position is filled, and there won't be any backlash, that the Republicans cannot come back and undo whatever. I think that Congress should pass the bills in which they know that eventually the Supreme Court may rule against. And also, I think that the Congress should come up with a criteria for the judges, for every federal judge, the Supreme Court judge, there should be a criteria. They should have experience as a judge on a bench. They should have experience being a lawyer, presenting before the judges, serving on the bench as a judge. They should have an understanding of the Constitution. They should also have a limit. I think that when it comes to Supreme Court, I don't think that I think there should be a term limit when it comes to the sitting judges. I think that also that a judge cannot be a part of anything that is in conflict, a conflict of interest. But I think that there should be some type of regulation, some type of criteria for sitting judges, and also a history of the judge rulings and how many times a judge rulings have been overturned, and if there have been any type of misconduct, whether it's once or twice. Once is too much. So I think there should be some type of criteria when it comes to the judges. So, but you're looking at 20 years of change coming up. So so if you have a child that is 16 years old, that's 36 years old. If you have a child that is 6 years old, they'll be 26, which is really frightening. And then with me being 62, at 82 years old, I can't even think being 82 years old, because at 62, that's a frightening thought. But we're looking at change, and we're going to go through 20 years of that change. When it comes to Birmingham, oh boy, we have got to quit voting on popularity. We have got to quit voting on popularity. We have got to start voting on experience. Just because somebody's father is a minister, or because somebody is a minister, or somebody's relatives have experienced and have a stellar career dealing with the community, that does not make them rightfully equipped to handle that same seat or a seat that is similar. There are numerous examples of where people have voted for individuals because of the family, and that is totally incorrect. We have, I think, 2 or 3 name brands down on the city council. and I call them name brands, is because they have no experience. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the love nor the dedication that their relatives, that their mom or dad had, because they have shown their actions have shown they really don't give a happy goddamn about anything except for themselves. We have a mayor that is so white oriented that he doesn't even understand what Birmingham is all about. And that's a travesty to have the education and to have the articulation that he does. He's just a fuck up. He's mostly into showcasing himself, serving as a celebrity instead of being an administrator, instead of being a mayor. There, from what I understand, and again, understand that if I have ever presented anything that is incorrect, I have no problem in coming back and publicly acknowledging that I was incorrect and this is the correct answer, as long as you have documentation to prove me wrong. So just don't come up here and say, well, this is this. But if you don't have any documentation, I'm not going to listen to you. So we have a minority women small business loan. And from my understanding, most of those loans, or the majority of those loans, are going to minority women that are not Alabamians, nor are they Birminghamians. And anyone who knows me knows that I am always and will always be pro Birmingham. Anything that is beneficial, anything that is positive to Birmingham, I'm for it. I think that we should look after our own first. I understand the concept of bringing new ventures in, new services in, because it gives us more of a diversification. We have women who are who are entrepreneurs, who should be looked after first. We have individuals that are vegans. We have vegan restaurants. We have one down at 5 Point South. So we should concentrate on our own first. And that's why I've always preached that if you want to be in community service, if you want to hold a seat in government, start at home first. Serve as a neighborhood president, or serve as an officer in the neighborhood association. Then go to the city council. Then go to the legislature. Start here at home. Change the rules here at home. Because if the Supreme Court continues in the path that they're going, they're giving everything back to the states. It goes back to the question of states' rights again, which has always been here, states' rights. That's why it's important for anybody who wants to give an opinion on what is happening. You have to understand the history of the United States. You had two groups initially. You had the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist. You have to understand the complexities of those two groups. Now, if you don't know who the Federalist Papers, if you have never read the Federalist Papers, if you have never read the Anti-Federalist Papers, well, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. If you do not know the individuals who were Federalists and those who were Anti-Federalists, and what the philosophies and the opinions and the ideas of those two groups were, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because those two opinions still exist today. And if you do not know the complexities, if you do not know the ideologies, if you do not know the opinions of those two groups, then you're not going to understand the importance or the interpretation of the Bill of Rights, those 10 amendments. Because Amendment 2, the rights to bear arms, has to do with slavery. Because even during the 13 colonies, you had those states who were slave states and those states who were not slave states. So the problems that we're having now, the differing of opinions, are the same that were a long time ago. Some people did not feel that the federal government should have so much power over the states. Some people believe that they shouldn't even, that the federal government should even have the power. So see, the complexities are still here. Same thing when it comes to Birmingham. The same groups that were prominent during Reverend Shuttlesworth days are still here. Those ideologies are still here. Those opinions are still here. And as in every issue, every problem that we have, if we do not sit down at a table and have that raw discussion and look at each other raw, trying to push our feelings aside, then we're never going to be able to come together as a group. Because for there to be healing, you have to accept the fact that we're fucked up. You have to accept the fact that we have problems and concerns, and these are the problems and concerns. And again, I make the statement boldly, bodaciously, that if majority of your friends are white and you have not sat down, or you have not just independently discussed race relations, discuss if they support Trump, or if you do not even know what the philosophy is, well, you deserve everything you get. Because eventually the time is going to come to where you're going to have to make that decision. And I don't care how long you have been friends with these individuals. I don't care if your kids were raised with their kids. Because when it comes down to it, historically, anytime it gets hot in the kitchen, white folks are going to take up for white folks. Understand that. Understand that. Understand that. White folks are always going to look after white folks. And they don't give a happy God about how long you have been friends. Because if it starts affecting the white community, then that's where the division comes up. And we have history. We have evidence. While crack was prominent in the black community, there was no say. There was no pending legislation or any type of focus. Well, that affects the black community. That has nothing to do with that. That's crack. White folks don't do crack. Idiot thinking. But all of a sudden, when cocaine started coming in, then all of a sudden it became a nation health issue. Well, you didn't think about crack because, from what I understand, crack and cocaine is pretty much the same. Same way with abortion. As long as the minority communities were having abortion, we don't care. But all of a sudden, when the white women started having abortions more openly, more publicly, then it became an issue. And understand, rich white folks have always had abortions. Those who have the money have always had accessibility to abortions. So all these lily white, blonde-headed, blue-eyed, bleached blue-eyed women, they've had abortions. You don't know about it because they went out of state. They went overseas. It was similar to a long time ago that when a young woman became pregnant, she was sent up north or she was sent somewhere, and then she came back because they had accessibility. So abortions have always been white folks, but it's never been open and public as what it is now. So now all of a sudden, since it has become such open, all of a sudden there's a problem. Same way when it came to the weapons, NRA. It wasn't a problem until the Black Panthers came out. And understand, the Black Panthers were only protecting their community, supporting their community. They weren't after white folks. But see, white people have the tendency of twisting things to benefit them, just like when it comes to the critical race theory. They don't want you to teach the true history. These grandparents, they don't want their grandchildren to see that they were racist ass motherfuckers a long time ago because it's pictures of them. So see, as long as it doesn't affect the white community, they don't care. But all of a sudden, when it starts affecting the white community, then it becomes an issue. So that's why you have to heed, you have to pay attention, you have to be cautious now because things are changing. And historically, it wasn't that blacks wanted to be integrated with whites in school. That was never an issue. There never was an issue of integration. The issue was that the black community was tired of receiving the trash from the white school, that the white schools did not want these books, did not want these materials, and they were giving them to the black school. The issue was we want equity. We want equity. We want the same money that you're giving to the white schools. We want that same money. We want brand new books. We want brand new equipment. We want better facilities. There was a prominent, a bustling black business district in Birmingham. The black community did not even have to leave to go to a white community because all the necessities were located downtown. And I think it was 4th Avenue. They had the churches. They had the social clubs. They had they had the Masonic order. And if you go back and you look at all those massacres, all those black communities that we were never taught about, because all we know about is Rosewood. All we know about when we're just learning about Seneca Falls, but we knew about Rosewood. But there were 20 other black communities that were burned down because the white folks got jealous because the black folks had more and were more elaborate and more richly blessed in their eyes than themselves. Petty jealousy. You have to look at it at face value. So it's time for us to sit back. It's time for us to have those talk with our friends first. Start with your circle of friends. Find out where you stand when it comes to issues. I don't understand, and you have to forgive me, I don't understand why you would allow your child to belong to a white dance troupe where they're the only black child there when you have a prominent dance troupe here, Ursula Smith Dance Troupe. Ursula is as qualified and experienced and as creative as those white folks, if not more so. Check her out, Ursula Smith. Ursula Smith. Check her out. The only thing that separates us is our social economic levels. That's the only thing that separates us. And as I've told you numerous times, there's only one race, and that's the human race. We have similarities because of us being humans. But because of our culture, because of our life experiences, we're going to have some changes. But the majority, we have more similarities. Soul food is country food. I was raised by an authentic grandparents and aunts and uncles that were raised on farms, that raised cotton, that raised corn. They were not sharecroppers. They owned their farm. I was raised with vegetable plates. We had more vegetable plates than we had meat. We only had meat on Sundays. But I had vegetable plates. I know how to cook vegetables. I know about lard. I know about I know how to cook. I know about chitlins. That was country cooking I was raised with. That's soul food. Soul food and country, same thing. We have to get out of the mindset. We have to look at history. Watermelon, all of a sudden, the white folks, as usual, put a twist on it to make it seem like it was only for black folks and make it seem pathetic. But initially, watermelon was a prominent business when it came to the black community. Then it became something negative because of white folks. So we have to look at the bigger picture now, and we have to face things as they are. We have to look at them. There's no reason for Birmingham to be in the position to be in the state that's it's in, because we could be a prominent fixture when it comes to fiscal responsibility. Jefferson County could serve as an example to the other counties in Alabama. And as I've told you numerous times before, you have the monorail system. You have the Port of Birmingham. Birmingham could also, over at the Sports Flex, come up with a state-of-the-art swimming pool so that way it is renowned worldwide. The retirement systems of Alabama has a golf course that is renowned, that is marketed professionally and correctly. Same thing when it comes to the Olympic pool. If it is handled effectively, efficiently, professionally, then you could have people from all over coming to Birmingham, coming to Jefferson County to train, which means that 5 Points West can build these hotels, can build these facilities to house these teams. You can build one huge complex to where you have these apartments for these teams, as well as a cafeteria, as well as having these other food services around them. You can do it. It can be done. And it would pay for itself in 5 to 7 years. Same way when it comes to the monorail system. It will pay for itself in 5 to 7 years if it is handled effectively, efficiently, marketed professionally, positively. Then that way Jefferson County and those counties to the east, to the Georgia border, will benefit from the monorail system. And then if you still have those white investors, you could have the monorail system from Birmingham to Texas, so that way all of southern Alabama will benefit from the revenue that is generated. Then if you have the Port of Birmingham, that the revenue that is generated, the jobs that is created, will benefit the entire state. And the revenue that is generated from those will take care of social services, could take care of veterans, could take care of the elderly, can take care of the children, that can take care of the homelessness, that can take care of health, take care of education, take care of correction. We could have enough of revenue so that way we can stop the flow of people coming in to the prisons, and we can close some of these prisons down because you have the facilities that would take care of the mental illness, that would take care of the drug addiction. It can be done. But we have to quit being stupid and greedy. So not only are we dealing with everything else, but now we have the damn monkeypox that's coming out because we have become so laxed with COVID. We're not even wearing our mask anymore. Now you have schools starting back, and it's not going to be required for the children to wear the mask, which I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I fear that you're going to have an upstart of COVID again, along with monkeypox, which means that we're all fucked up. And I just found out today, this morning, that you can contact monkeypox from handling goddamn money. Now that's frightening. That is really frightening. But then the issue or the question comes up: why now? Why now? Why all of a sudden do we have monkeypox? Why all of a sudden do we have this Ebola pandemic coming out? Why now? What is not being said? What is being hidden? What is being smoke screened? So what is being done behind the closed doors that they don't want us to know about? So why now? Why all of a sudden this flow of crap now? Because you have to look at the bigger picture. Why now? Why now? What is going on behind the closed doors that you don't want us to know about? Because we have gotten to the point to where HIV is not as prevalent and is not as much of a concern. COVID is not much of a concern. Now you have monkeypox. And even though they have the vaccines, they don't have enough. So why now? It's something that you have to be cautious of and to be aware of, not to be paranoid about, but to be aware and to be conscious of, conscientious. Alabamians are not stupid. We act stupid, but Alabamians are not stupid. Birminghamians are not stupid. Never have been. Never will be. But there has to be some type of common ground. There has to be some sense of unity when it comes to the benefit of everybody as a whole. I have faith in this newer generation. I am not scared of this newer generation. I applaud this newer generation. Do you scare the hell out of these old folks? Shake the boat. Make waves. Create waves. Ask those hard questions and don't start asking and don't start pushing until you get the answer that you feel is being correct. Make the changes that need to be changed. Understand that the black population of Birmingham is decreasing. The white population is increasing. And I would not be surprised that in the next, I wouldn't be even surprised with the next election that you have a white mayor. And there's nothing wrong with that. Understand, there's nothing wrong with that as long as the individuals coming in for the as a whole, not just different districts, but as a whole that's going to benefit Birmingham. It can be done. It can be done. You have to be cautious. You have to look at face value. You have to look at face value. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you allowing me to come in. I appreciate you coming and listening to me. Appreciate you. Again, if you have not done so, please go to Smash Bros Radio, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, like, follow, share. Smash Bros Radio is the only digital radio station in Birmingham. It promotes independent artists. It serves as a venue to give the artists a chance to show what they have, showcase their craft. Check us out, Smash Bros Radio. Go to the App Store, download Smash Bros app. You can find me, Oz, on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. And of course, you can follow me on Facebook. If you have an issue or if you have any type of community activity or promotions or whatever, please, I'm here for you. My platform is yours. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I have a special guest. I love her. I have a special guest, Mrs. Cynthia Donald, Council Lady of Bessemer City, is coming on. It's going to be her show. She's running for the 3rd district. I think this is her 3rd term. You cannot get any more experienced, any more knowledgeable. She knows her district. She knows the issue. She knows the problems, and she provides the solutions. So tune in tomorrow. Mrs. Cynthia Donald will be here. It's her show. She's going to talk about what she's done, what the issues are, so that way you get to know her. And please tune in tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you are the one that creates the obstacles. Know that you're wonderful. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care. The live stream on the show. On the show. The live stream. On the show. The live stream. The live stream on the show.